In Kerala, cinema is not entertainment. It is an emotion, culture, family. We don't grow up watching stars here. We grow up with them. We call them Etan, Ikka, Chetan. Their dialogues become our language.
ഓരോന്നിനും അതിൻ്റെതായ സമയമുണ്ട് മോനെ.
Their struggles become our emotions. And that is why what is happening inside AMMA feels bigger than an internal dispute. When an organization built in the name of mother becomes the center of infighting, allegations, resignations, and public humiliation, people notice. The reel still looks perfect. Press meets, smiles, unity speeches, damage control, but the record tells a different story. Formal complaints, allegations of humiliation, internal collapse, and a committee fighting itself more than protecting its own members. So today, we are not reacting to rumors. We are examining the record because behind the staged image of unity, AMMA's 32nd Executive Committee is collapsing in public view. And the biggest question is no longer who is right. The real question is, how did the institution meant to protect Malayalam artists become the center of chaos itself? This is the real versus record of AMMA. And before going into this, let me remind you something. 90% of the people watching our channel is still non-subscribers. So kindly please hit that subscribe button and join our family. Now come, let's go back to the thing we are discussing. The 2025-28 committee began with historic symbolism. For the first time ever, actress Shraddha Menon became president. After the explosive Hema Committee revelations shook the entire Malayalam film industry, the new leadership promised reform, transparency, accountability, a cleaner era maybe. We were told things would finally change. But look at the record. Within months, the structure began collapsing from inside. Joint Secretary Ansiba Hassan resigned.
ജോയിന്റ് സെക്രട്ടറി ആയിട്ട് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്ത അന്ന് മുതൽ മാനസിക പീഡനം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ അതിന്റെ പീക്ക് അനുഭവിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു.
Treasurer Unni Shivapal was removed following employee harassment complaints. Public infighting exploded. Internal divisions became impossible to hide. And senior stars who once supported this leadership are now reportedly distancing themselves from the chaos. So the question is simple. How did a committee elected on reform collapse this quickly? Because this is not just about personality clashes. This is a failure of governance. This is where the real versus record contrast becomes impossible to ignore. On one side, actor Tini Tom presents himself publicly as the loyal committee worker. On the other side, we have the formal complaints and resignation allegations describing something very different.
അത് എനിക്കറിയില്ല, ഇത് എന്താണ് പ്ലാനിങ് എന്ന് അറിയില്ല. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ല, ക്യാമ്പിലായിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പൊ രണ്ടുമൂന്ന് ഇത് കണ്ടപ്പോഴാണ് മനസ്സിലായത്. അത് തന്നെയാണ് ഞാൻ വിശദീകരണം തരാൻ വന്നത്.
Actress Neena Kurup reportedly submitted complaints detailing humiliation, hostile conduct and abusive language inside committee interactions.
ഞാൻ ഇസ്ലാമിലേക്ക് ടിനി ടോം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ചേട്ടൻ്റെ ഡ്രൈവറെയും ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ കൺട്രോളറുടെ മകനെയും ഇസ്ലാമിലേക്ക് പരിവർത്തനം ചെയ്യാൻ ഞാൻ ട്രൈ ചെയ്തു എന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞത് അടുത്തത് ആരോപണം. പിന്നെ അവിഹിത കഥകളുടെ ഘോഷയാത്ര.
And according to allegations raised publicly by Ansiba Hassan, questioning certain internal decisions allegedly resulted in communal labeling and personal attacks. Think about the irony. An organization claiming to represent artists across communities now facing allegations of internal division based on region and identity. Politics. There is no longer an administrative disagreement. The record paints a picture of intimidation, factionalism, and power struggles consuming the institution itself. And this is the real tragedy. The real is still alive. Press conferences, damage control meetings, calls for so-called internal resolution from legends like Mammootty and Mohanlal. Public appeals asking everyone to stay united. But the record shows something else entirely. Those resolutions are not stopping the collapse of public trust. Because when committee members spend more time fighting each other, filing complaints and managing scandals than protecting artists, the mother stops being a mother. It becomes a political stage. An ego battlefield, a collapsing institution struggling to protect its own credibility. And what we are witnessing now is bigger than one controversy. This is institutional failure. Because in Kerala, we grew up believing cinema was family. As I earlier said, we started calling them names, and we called this association Amma, mother. But today, the question every Malayali must ask is simple. If even the mother cannot protect dignity inside her own house, then what exactly is left out of this family? Maybe that is the real tragedy here. Not the resignations, not the press conferences, not even the public infighting. The real tragedy is that ordinary Malayalis are slowly losing faith in the very peoples and institutions they once trusted blindly, and once trust breaks, no amount of staged unity, camera smiles, or scripted speeches can rebuild it overnight. Because respect is not demanded, it is earned. The real can manipulate emotions, but the record always survives. I'm Chandni from the Unmasked Indian. Keralam ellam കാണുന്നുണ്ട്. And history always remembers who stayed silent. Let's see you on the next one.